I am engaged. I'm officially off the market. Well, I guess I was already off the market, but it's like I'll never be back on the market. Let's see.
Married for life.
Married for life. You got one of these Vigoroths? They're sick.
I do. I have the whole family, bro.
Okay. That's really dope art for Vigoroth.
It is.
You didn't? Yeah, it happened Saturday. It's pretty dope. Yo, let me tell you guys this story because it's ridiculous and also funny at the same time. So I planned out like a whole weekend, like a Friday night and a Saturday day that could be special for Lioness Heart and I, so that we might end up, in a good position to make the proposal like really dope. Basically, nothing I planned went well. Oh, there it is. There's another one of those Smeargles, and I already have the reverse holotropia, so you can have that. So what happened was, so you guys know we have this dog named Oso, and I think it's pretty corny when people use their dogs to propose, but when you have your own dog or your own animal, it kind of changes things. So I was planning on putting us in a position where it was just us three by ourselves somewhere, and I was gonna like act like I was struggling to fix his harness and get his harness on. But what I was really gonna be doing was clipping the ring to his harness. And then when she came over there, him and I were gonna be looking real cute. And then we were going to that's how the proposal was gonna go. And it was based off a whole day long of different events, like going to an outside like eating area, and then doing some stuff like going to a dog park to wear Oso out so that he would actually like mind whenever I said come here and sit down and don't move. So I had to wear him out, and then we were gonna end up in this like botanical gardens in Oklahoma City, which is really cool because it's like a butterfly garden and some like really nice like shaded areas and like a koi fish pond and all that. And then come the day of, we're about to leave with our dog Oso, and all of a sudden she says, "Do we have to take Oso? I'd really like to not have to deal with him out in public today." And I thought of like 3 different things to say about like why Oso should come with us, other than, I'm using Oso to propose to you. We ended up leaving Oso at home. So my whole plan of how to actually propose was gone. Right, my whole plan on how I was actually gonna do it was gone. And then the first place we showed up to was closed. With a restaurant, we were the outside eating area that has like food trucks and like a bar and like a bunch of cool things at it. That was closed. It wasn't open yet, which is crazy because we got there at like 12, and I'm like, who isn't open for lunch at 12? And then they ended up opening at like 1 o'clock. I'm like, who opens for lunch at 1 o'clock? That's insane. You're missing so much business. But then we found another place, and that lunch actually ended up being really nice. It was like an indoor version of the same thing, and so there was like multiple restaurants in one place, and basically like a cafeteria of like really expensive restaurants or something like that. So it was kind of cool. Then after that, we went to the botanical gardens, but the whole inside of the botanical gardens was closed due to renovations. So we didn't get to see the whole butterfly garden, and Linus Heart loves butterflies. So that fell through. So I didn't have Oso, I didn't have the first place I wanted us to eat, and I didn't have the butterfly garden. All of these things didn't come to play. So we're actually on our way home, and I haven't proposed yet, but I know I have to propose somewhere. So we're like driving past this lake that I knew this lake was there. I knew, like, I always had it in the back of my mind, if anything goes wrong, we'll just go to the lake. So I told her, I'm like driving, I look over at her, I was like, hey, let's go to the lake real quick. And she's like, I don't want to go to the lake, it's like really hot. I'm like, no, like, please just want, like, why? So I just go to the lake anyway. I drive her there anyways. I get out and I start walking around, and then she like gets out of the car and she's like, man, my feet hurt, because we've been walking around outside for like a whole hour at this point, and she like wore these socks that weren't comfortable, and they were like rubbing her foot the wrong way. So she has to sit on this bench and fix her shoes for like 10 minutes. And I'm like literally like 30 feet away from her at the spot that I've decided to like propose to her at. And I like, but there's like, it's like I'm just like staring at her while she's sitting on this bench fixing her socks. And it's like, I'm like looking at the ground like, is this a good spot? I don't know. And like I'm like kicking rocks, like trying to like make the spot smooth. Like I'm trying to like make it a good spot. And it ends up she walks over and she's looking real goofy at me. She's like, man, it's hot. And she like starts like rolling up her sleeves. Like she like rolls up her sleeves and she's like, and like is like making this like painful face. And I don't even remember what I did to like segue into it. I think at some point I just pulled the ring out of my pocket and just stared at her. I was like, I'm sorry, this isn't how this was supposed to go. I don't remember how it happened, but I just pulled the ring out. Yeah, I was just like, do it. And then I got down on one knee, but my knee hit a divot. I almost fell over. I like, cause we're like on a slope towards the water. I literally like lost my balance for a second. And I was like, will you marry me? And she was like, yeah. And she like started crying a little bit. And then she started laughing a little bit. And so I had the ring like halfway on her finger. And I was like, are you sure? Because she started laughing. And she's like, yes. And then so I stood up and gave her a hug and a kiss. And then I was like, our families are waiting for us back at your house. And then she goes, I know. And I was like, you knew? And she was like, I was like, you knew I was proposing today? She was like, yeah. I was like, why were you being so difficult? Like, oh my gosh. And then she was like, because I didn't want you to think I knew, so I had to say everything I thought I would say if I didn't know.
She overthought.
Yeah.
She overthought.
So, yeah. She knew, and it was whatever. It was fine. And then so we went back and had an engagement party with her family. Who told her? Technically, I told her, and like, you know, I didn't know. So she did really good at making me think she didn't know, because I told her, I said, hey, make sure you have off on the 25th. And so she like figured that meant I'm gonna pop the question on the 25th. But